All right. I am back. And let's see how this works out. I changed a few settings and I am hoping this could help. I'm going to try to see it now. From my phone if this is working. Okay. Let's go to if you're out there, yes, please do let me know if this is working out. Okay, maybe I'll minimize the screen this a little bit here. So I don't know what's going on with the long format, but clearly that is now working. So I'm gonna try to do the short format now to see if this is working any better. All right, test. How are we doing? Is it working? Is this working? Okay, I think it's better because I can see it from my phone, and I think lag is still there, but very little. Okay, maybe a second. So I think this could still work. All right. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I am International Master Zura Jawakhadze, known as Zurability on online chess streets. And in this stream, I will be continuing a rating climb series that I started not too long ago. I had 3 games so far. And the concept is to build an opening repertoire, healthy openings that we can use to any level pretty much, but I'm mainly targeting this for people rated under 1,000. Okay. And today specifically, I want to focus on 3 golden principles of chess. Fight for the center. We want to fight for the center early on. Number 2 is develop your pieces towards the center. And number 3 is going to be secure your king, castle as fast as possible, okay? Because the center is going to open up and we want our king to be secure. Andrew, if you are still out there, will you let me know if the stream is better? And meanwhile, I will jump into the game. Okay. We got the black color, looks like, and our opponent plays pawn to e3. When they play a sideline like that, we want to take control of the center with pawn to e5. I've mentioned earlier that with white, my recommendation is pawn to e4 to take control of the center. But as we can see, this is also pretty common here. When someone is not familiar with the correct way to play openings, they will try to push some pawns early on. We are given the center, and now we'll try to take control of it with both our pawns. Okay, seeing a check, giving a check is a monkey business that usually does not lead to anything good. All right, because we can simply block it. Abul Fazi is asking, how old am I? I am 31 years old, okay, residing in Dallas, Texas, in United States. Welcome, everyone. Queen to b5. Another thing that I want to recommend here is we want to develop and include all our pieces into the game and not play with one or few pieces only. Okay, that is what white is doing right now. They have already made 2 moves with the queen out of 4 moves that they have played total. Okay, I'm gonna meanwhile develop my minor pieces. Okay, now also the idea of this series, I'll try to put myself here as if I was basically rated what I am here, 600, okay, and how I would approach the game. They play d4, now they want to capture my pawn. Okay, I'll capture their pawn. Okay, they captured back. Now let's get the bishop out. We can develop bishop 1 square, or we can develop the bishop 2 squares. The more active, the better, obviously. So let's go to d6. All right, we develop our bishop, they develop their bishop. Now let's go short castle. So the third principle of the opening, secure your king. Okay, and securing the king most of the time means castling. They take our knight. We do not want to open our king early on, so we're gonna take back with the queen. All right, we took back with the queen, and they took our pawn here in the center. But one thing I want to bring your attention here would be that we have developed 3 of our pieces right now: queen, bishop, and the knight, and we have also secured the king. Our king is already pretty safe here, while opponent's king is still in the center. Okay, so since we have developed a lot of our minor pieces already, and we have castled, this rook is ready to get in the game. Rooks love open diagonals, so let's give that king a check. Okay, king moves on the side. Now we could go with the other check, developing our bishop as well. But since king has moved right now, look what we got here. We got the queen on the f file, and nothing protecting that f2 pawn. So why don't we capture it immediately? Queen takes f2. Okay, we are already threatening here to make their king very uncomfortable. Okay, king on d8, king on d1, excuse me. Can you see what our threat is? Let's make it like that. Can you see what is the threat? if white now was to make a random move, do we see a way to win it? Win the game instantly? Well, there we go. Okay, they got the bishop out. One thing, when opponent makes the move, you want to ask yourself, what is their threat? What was black's threat right now? If they had asked this question, what is the threat, they would see that we have a queen controlling the second rank and helping this rook on the first rank. So we can go now rook to e1, and that is going to be a checkmate. Very short-lived from our opponent. All right, we got to win in how many moves was that? That was 10 moves. Not bad, not bad. Let's see if we can do the game review. Are we able to see the game review? Start game review. Let's see. Okay, we are able to see the game review. Alright, e5 takes space in the center, controls the d4 squares and allows the queen and the dark square bishop to develop. c3, d5. Moving from its starting point, the queen gets involved in the game, then blocks, this knight blocks the check from the queen. Queen to b5 is given inaccuracy. Okay, guys, by the way, one of the things that I want to recommend, the fastest way to get better at chess is two things. Okay, one, we want to get familiar with the checkmate patterns. Okay, how to checkmate the king, because that's what wins the game, right? That's how we win the game. So you gotta understand what is the goal of the game. Goal of the game is to checkmate the king. Okay, so if we want to get good at the game, we have to get familiar with some checkmate patterns. Okay, if we Google checkmate patterns, for example, there are at least 40 that is gonna pop up. Get familiar with them. That's gonna help big deal. And number two, after we're familiar how to checkmate the opponent's king, number two thing what we want to do is play a lot of games. Okay, if you want to get good at something, it makes sense that we want to do a lot of it, right? So play a lot of games, and then chess.com here has the game review tool, which means that after you're done with the game, you click game review and you analyze the games where you make the mistakes. So right now, you may not be able to see it, but on the right side here, because this is the short format video, but on the right side here, it shows that queen b5 is inaccuracy because playing the same piece again slows down the progress in the opening. That is basically what I mentioned earlier, right? Now, white's progress has been slowed down. So you do not want to be playing with the same piece twice or a lot of times before you have developed your other pieces. And earlier on, I was mentioning if you look at it as a war, or if you are into sports, then I'll give you the sports analogy. You don't want only one of your players playing the entire game, right? You want all your team to be included. And the same way in the war, you don't want one of your soldiers fighting alone. You want your army to be supporting each other, right? So that's why you should develop all your pieces and not play with just one piece. Okay, so that was the case here. Then he pushed the pawn. I took. Apparently, you missed an opportunity to kick a queen. It's suggesting that we play a6 to kick the queen away. Pawn takes back, then we develop it with the bishop to d6. White plays bishop to g5, pins the knight, which restricts its mobility. Okay, that is not bad. Short castle. Bishop takes f6. This misses an opportunity to develop a bishop off its starting square. So they gave us their good bishop, basically. Bishop in open positions is slightly a better piece than the knight. So taking on f6 this early on here, trading for the knight, was not a good idea. I have made a YouTube short actually about this, where I was talking that if you are not gaining anything out of the trade, you really have no business in the trade. Okay, so before we trade our pieces for the opponent's pieces, we want to think, what is it giving us? Does that trade give us anything? Okay, and in this case, it gave black actually something which was developing our queen on an active square. Then he plays king to d1. This hangs a pawn after a rushed move. Now, for one thing, it hangs the pawn. Number two, it loses the castling right. We do not want to lose castling rights this early. He could have just blocked this check with the bishop, and king would still be able to castle after a few moves. Hey, Andrew. Welcome back. Yes, I am back. I've decided to switch to the short format. I don't know what is going on with the long format, but clearly long format, I'm having trouble with it. And I've tried the short format on YouTube before, and it worked. So I think I'm gonna try to stick with the short format then. I want to ask your opinion actually. What do you think? Do you like a longer format video, or you think that short form video is also okay? I feel a little more comfortable with the long form video, but I can't figure out why is it lagging. Okay, now I feel like the lag is way less like this. King to d1. So again, losing castling rights this early on cannot be a good idea. So he moves away, then that drops the pawn on f2 with our queen, and it's also helping our rook to threaten the checkmate. They could have blocked it, but they didn't, and allowed us to mate them on the first rank. Okay. So that was that. That is game one. Okay, we are 644 right now. Let's make the goal to get to maybe 800 today. Okay. Short form is more difficult to see, but much better than no stream. Okay, I agree with that. I think short form is mainly aimed at people that watch it from their phones. Okay, so I'm assuming that you're probably watching it from your computer then. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go with the next game, shall we? Shall we go with the next game? Next game we should be getting white. I'm trying to think how am I gonna... No. Tablet should be fine. Tablet should be fine. I don't think you should change it to phone for that. Okay, so that's okay. That's okay. Don't you worry. All right, next game. We got white. Let's start with a pawn to e4. Take control of the center. They responded with pawn to e5. Now I'm gonna try to get my knight out on f3 to attack their pawn. They defend it back with knight c6. All right, we have the most common opening to us. My recommendation here is to go for Ruy Lopez, also known as Spanish opening. Okay, bishop to b5. Here we are getting the bishop out and getting ready for the castle. Now, there are a few things here to keep in mind. We could take the knight on c6 and double their pawns. And you may be thinking that we can take the pawn here, the central pawn, but this does not work usually, because then queen can come in the center here to d4, attack our knight, attack the pawn on f2. So for that reason, I'll simply go short castle. Okay, now they are forcing to move our bishop. So if that is the case, now we can take that knight, and when they take back, okay, they take back with the b pawn. Okay, it's usually better to take the d pawn because that opens the bishop up. Now with the b pawn, nothing is defending this e5 pawn, so we can just simply take the pawn. Okay. All right, they're attacking our knight. Now where do we move the knight? We could take there, but I think then if they attack our knight is gonna get in trouble. Okay, should we do that and get on the run with the knight, or should we just retreat back? What do we think? Let's try to simply go back, I think. Okay, going on to the opponent's territory this early on could be dangerous. So to make sure that we are safe, I'm simply gonna move the knight back. Okay, they're attacking our pawn on e4, but we would love them to open that center up because we have already secured our king. Their king is still in the center. We're gonna bring the rook on e1, and the knight is going to be in trouble. Now with the last move, we took control of the center. We are also attacking the bishop. Okay, they move the bishop back. Now let's get the knight out and strengthen our center. Okay, pawn to d5. Okay, they want to open the center up. We are happy to open the center up. Well, let's try to take it. And now rooks love open files. So we bring the rook on e1 to check the king. They block the check with bishop to e6. Now we have developed most our minor pieces. The only piece that we have not developed is which one? This bishop right here. So let's get it out to g5. All right, short castle. Okay, they also castle. We have also castle. Now what? Now what do we do? Let's bring the queen out and connect the rooks. Where do we bring the queen out? Ideally, we would want this queen to come over the king side. So I'm gonna try to play the simple move here. Just move it up, connect the rooks. Rooks like to be connected. Now they establish a good coordination, And next, maybe we can start thinking of going towards the king. Okay, they play queen to d6. This knight was pinned, so I guess they wanted to get rid of this pin, but now the only g pawn is defending the knight. Okay, so normally I suggest that we always ask ourselves before trading our pieces, what is that trade giving us? In this case, that is going to open up their king. We want to open up the opponent's king. Okay. G takes f6. Now this G file is going to be open, and maybe we can bring our queen closer to the king to try use it. Use the weakness of the black king. We do not have a supporting piece right now. With only one piece, checkmating the opponent's king is going to be difficult. So let's see if we can bring some other pieces into the attack. All right, they move the pawn up, and that allows our knight to now get into the attack, right? So the best way to attack the opponent's king, bring as many pieces around as you can. Okay, and we see now that knight can hop onto g5 and immediately attack this h7 pawn. We are actually threatening a very tricky mate right now. Okay, queen h7. Actually, that's not so tricky. we just threatening the mate. No, not a tricky mate, just a mate. All right, queen to h7. So they actually are facing a serious dilemma right now, how to defend it. Well, they defend it correctly. They move the rook away, so when we take the pawn, king can run away, okay, on the other side of the board. Now, what should we do here? We can try to take it with the queen, and then get the king on the run. We could also try to take it with the knight, and then bring this knight to f6 to checkmate the king. I think that is probably the fastest way to win. Okay, take it with the knight. So when you see a good move, look for a better one. Okay, there is a saying for a reason. Okay, especially if you have multiple candidate moves. Okay, what we mean by candidate moves is are we familiar with candidate moves? Candidate moves are basically what we want to be thinking. This is a possible move, this is a possible move, and then you choose between them. It's always better to compare a few options to each other rather than just consider one line and then play it. Okay, we always want to consider a few options at least. So now what? Now bishop d4 actually was a good move. It is defending the king, and especially this f6 square. Okay, if I had seen that, I would have probably taken with queen takes h7. So that's why we want to consider the opponent's responses. Okay, we want to be thinking also, when I play this, what are they going to do? Let's bring the rook into the game. Okay, attack this bishop also. Okay, now this bishop is defending the king, right? Especially the f6 square. So if we are able to get rid of that bishop, even though that is a sacrifice, on the next move, we're gonna checkmate the king. Okay, nothing is going to be defending that poor king. Okay, so knight to f6 now is going to be a checkmate. Okay, that's why it is dangerous to open your king up. Okay, you want your king covered by the pawns. All right, 644 to 677. We gained 33 rating points. Shall we keep going? Let's keep going here. But I'm quickly gonna run the game review to give you guys idea where they went wrong, okay, and what computer thinks went wrong for them, okay. So we have e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. The Rui Lopez opening develops the bishop and immediately attack the knight on c6, the lone defender of the e5 pawn. Bishop c5, short castle. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. Then a6, this overlooks an opportunity to offer equal trade of pieces. This permits the opponent to force doubling the pawns. That is true, and it also gives us the pawn. So the best move here for black would simply be defending this central pawn with the pawn to d6. Okay, defends the bishop and e5 pawn while opening the diagonal for the light squared bishop. So that would be the best move. We place a6. Now we take the knight and then take the pawn as well. And they go d6. We move the knight back. You overlooked an opportunity to capture a free pawn. Yeah, we could have taken this pawn here on c6 immediately. But then maybe like queen d7, and now knight could go to a5 to run away. But I thought knight would just be weirdly located on a5. Okay, so that's why I didn't want to engage into that. I simply moved back. Then we take control of the center. Then we bring the knight out. Before they have castled, they do not want to open up the center. Okay, but this misses an opportunity to develop a bishop of its starting square. So computer apparently is recommending bishop to g4 to pin this knight. Okay, now that opens the center up. Then we develop the bishop. Now we bring queen to d2. Excellent. Connecting rooks can be very useful. This connects the rooks, which help them work together, but it does allow me to take on f6 and weaken the king. So I would actually recommend against these type of moves. Okay, you wanna first maybe try to play h6 here. If I was playing with black, kick the bishop away, because that weakened the king and then allowed my knight to get in. Now knight takes h7. This protects an undefended bishop that is under attack. So what would be the best move here then? The best move would be nope, not that one. Rook e8, knight h7. Instead of knight h7, what's the best move then? Queen takes h7. All right. King f8. Then what? Awaits the check from the queen. Then what? Now we go what? Like maybe takes on e6. Ah, we could take on e6 because this bishop was defending the pawn on f7. So next we could checkmate on f7. And we get rid of the bishop, and that's a mate. All right, next we are playing spasmodic. Okay, against d4, queen's pawn opening, I recommend balancing the center with d5. Well, why is it twice? Okay, queen's gambit. They want to sacrifice the pawn. If we take, they get control of the center. Okay, so instead what I'm going to do and what I recommend doing is defending this center. Okay, because if we were to take that pawn, they would move this e pawn, and on the next move the pawn is going to be doomed. We're gonna lose the pawn anyways. Okay, so it's not really recommended to take this pawn. I would recommend simply defending the center, okay, with pawn to e6. Oh wow, they pushed the pawn immediately. Okay, let's continue with our plan, developing our pieces. Knight to c3. Now this pawn on c5 has restricted this bishop, so we cannot get out actively, but we can still get it out on e7 here, right in front of the king, and then we castle as fast as possible. Okay, that's the goal. What are we trying to do? Fight for the center, develop your pieces towards the center, and then castle as fast as you can. Now, normally here I would be playing castle, right? That's what I mentioned, but they just went loco, okay? They just went crazy in the center. When there is such a confrontation in the center, what we want to ask ourselves is, how many attackers do I have to that pawn? So how many attackers do we have to that pawn right now? We have 1 and 2 attackers, right? How many defenders does white have? They have only 1 defender, right? So let's just take it. That looks like a free pawn. They just gave us the pawn. We could also have taken there with the pawn. Both of them look pretty good. All right, let's continue what we were doing, our plan. Now we have developed our kingside pieces, right? That's the priority, because we 99% of the time, okay, 99 is maybe too much, but 85% of the times we castle short side. Okay, so that's why we want to develop our kingside pieces first. Now let's develop our queenside pieces. So let's get this knight up. Next thing would be getting this bishop out. Where do we get that bishop out? Well, now d7 is not very active. I would like it to be slightly more active. But before we develop our bishop, they're attacking our pawn. Always ask yourself, what is their threat? What's the threat here with the last move, okay? We want to check the opponent's last move. So what was their threat with the last move? It was pawn to f3, right? So if the pawn is attacking us, we are attacking that pawn. So let's just take it. Okay, we did let this knight get out with the tempo, okay? But otherwise we were gonna lose the pawn. So that should still be okay. Now again, what do we do with this bishop? Do we get it on d7, or do we push the pawn to e5 and then get it out? What do we think? Now, I would like to push the pawn to e5. Pawn to e5, but then knight takes, pawn takes. So how many attackers does he have on e5? 1 and 2. How many defenders do we have? Only 1. So if we go there with just 1 pawn, then we're gonna lose it. So e5 no good. Hey, what's going on, guys? Michael, is that a lag, or you just joined? Alon, good to have the new faces here. What do you mean? What do you mean? What? So I'm gonna try to actually. How about the other ways of getting this bishop out? What if we were to try to get this bishop out on the long diagonal? Well, we could play maybe pawn to b6. If they take, we take back. Then bishop to b7 is gonna bring our bishop on the long diagonal. Okay, they castle. You could take the pawn here, but they take it back. That's just a trade. So let's continue with what we're doing. Let's get the bishop out. So this would be the phase where we would think to ourselves that, all right, the opening phase is over. How do we know? Well, we have confronting the center, we developed our pieces, we secured our king. All our pieces are out, so we could safely say that the opening phase is over. Now it would be safe to bring the queen in. And considering that we have a nice outpost here on d5, let's park that queen there. Now, what is an outpost? Okay, if you're new to chess, you're probably not familiar with an outpost. Outpost is a square that cannot be attacked with an opponent's pawn. Okay, so that square cannot be attacked with the pawn, so it's gonna be hard to kick that piece out. Now I see what they are doing here with the last move. Well, a move before they had moved the queen to b1. Okay, why would they do that? And now they have moved the knight to g5. Do we see what they are threatening? Well, yes, right? They want to checkmate us. No more, no less, on move 13, okay? So what do? We ask ourselves, okay, they didn't ask to themselves. Now, what is opponent going to do when we go there? Okay, is this square safe? Well, how many attackers do we have to that square? We have one attacker and we have two attackers, and white has only one piece defending it, so let's take it. Okay, this is the classic case of thinking one-sided only. Okay, they were only thinking of their threats and disregarded what is opponent going to do. Okay, if they had asked that, they would not have moved the knight there, or maybe they didn't see that we had two attackers to that square. Okay, again, thinking one-sided. Okay, we always want to ask, what is opponent going to do? Not only think from our side. Okay, they are attacking our queen right now, but we can take this bishop with an in-between check. Okay, intermezzo, or on German it would be called Schwichenzug. That's my favorite word in German. Any Germans watching this stream right now? They could have just moved the king away, but they decided to give us the rook, so I guess let's take it. Okay, they take back with the king. Now queen is under attack. We have to move the queen. Why don't we take another pawn on d4? Luca sprachen Deutsch. What's up, Luca? Good to see you. Sassiamo no sheinahuak. Okay, king is on the run. Now, do we immediately start checking it? Yeah, why not, right? Where do we check from? We have multiple checks here available to us. We have one check, we have two checks. Do we go to e3 or do we go to g1? Calma. Let's go to queen to e3. I think that's simpler. Queen to e3 check. Oh, you're from Serbia. Oh man, Luca is a very Georgian name, so I thought you were. Or I guess it's not. Yeah, not only Georgian. I guess. Luka Doncic, man. Luka Doncic is my favorite basketball player. All right, king in the center here. Let's bring the rook. Check. I see a check. Jivali, Luka. Jivali. King to c2 and now what? How do we checkmate? I know he's from Slovenia, but just saying, you know, isn't your language very close? Man, I am very familiar with Serbia in general. My roommate and a very good friend of mine is from Serbia. Okay, when I started university in America. Okay, now what do we do with the king? How do we check it? Okay, we have multiple checks. We're gonna consider all of them. We have check with the rook, we have a check with the knight, we have also knight to b4. One of them is actually a checkmate. So when we go through the candidate moves, we wanna see, okay, what do they do on this? What do they do on this? And here looks like knight to b4 is going to be a checkmate. There goes that. Okay, this was a nice game. I myself have been to Belgrade. Okay, I've played the tournament there, and I've been to Novi Sad also. So yeah. So yeah, I'm very related. I can say I know quite a bit of your culture. Where from Serbia are you from? All right, cool. Let's do the game review and see what we could have done better. Or I guess what they could have done better. Okay, and what computer thinks about what game review thinks. All right. Who's the Georgian WFM? And what is your rating? All right, let's see. They start with d4. We go d5, pawn to c4. E6 is good. Declines the queen's gambit by defending the central d5 pawn with the e pawn. Now pawn to c5. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. If you ever play this with white, I would strongly recommend against going c5 here. c5 was not a good move. They could have just played knight to c3. That is the most common way of playing here, okay? Because you already made two moves with the pawn c5. White's position is not quite ready to start the active operations like that, okay? Like c5 here. And plus, later on, when this pawn gets attacked, white will be overstretched, okay? They're not going to be able to defend it. So c5, not a great move, okay? Knight back, bishop e7. Then they give us a pawn. e4 clearly is a mistake because we had two attackers to the pawn. So that wins us the pawn. Then we get the knight out. Now on f3, e takes f3 computer thinks was a mistake. You overlooked an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. Well, yes, bishop g5 is a good move here, but again, I'm trying to put myself in the thinking frame of how 670 rated player would play, right? Whatever my rating was there. So I think at that level, seeing here bishop g5 is not going to be easy. If they take, now queen takes g5 and taking on g2, then attacking the pawn, rook, and all the good things, okay? So yes, bishop g5 would be a great move here. But I played a simpler chess here, took the pawn, and now b6. Nice, definitely the right move here, says the computer. We want to bring the bishop on the long diagonal. That's what happens. Now queen d1, queen to d5. You lost your advantage, now the position is balanced. Well, I would not agree with that statement here. We did not lose our advantage here. I think we're still much better, but I guess computer wants to, what would be the computer's suggestion? Actually, I'm curious. Instead of queen d5, computer is suggesting go bishop f6 to attack this pawn on d4. Well, okay, I would agree with that too. Okay, because that would bring an additional attacker to this central pawn here. But queen d5 I like, because now we have this nice battery of queen and the bishop aimed at the pawn on g2. So if white ever moves the knight away and we move the knight away, then we're gonna be threatening the checkmate. Okay, so yeah, knight to g5. Again, this allows an opponent to capture a knight and win material after follow-up trades. So as I mentioned earlier on, we do not want to make a move before asking ourselves what is opponent going to do on that move, especially if we are crossing the opponent's territory. Okay, so 5th rank is the black's territory, 4th rank and beyond would be the white's territory, right? So if you're crossing the opponent's territory, always ask yourself, is that square covered by the opponent's pieces? Okay, that is gonna save you from a lot of blunders, trust me. Okay, then mistakes rarely come in singles. They gave us one piece, and then they made another mistake, and then king got on the run. That was not quite necessary, but once they are in panic mode, then they're more likely to make mistakes. Kragujevic, central part of Serbia. Many things, I know also many things. I had friends from there. So I was around 2100 blitz. Now you just analyze the games. Oh man, that's cool. That's cool. So you are a chess aficionado, basically. Nino, oh, you know Nino. Nino is actually from the same city as I am. Okay, she is younger than I am, but when she was a kid, I've seen her play. And we have also played a bunch of tournaments together. And yeah, I know she's in New York, actually. Recently, I got a job offer from there to teach, and then I saw that she actually started working there. So I recently got... Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's very cool. Okay, let's keep going. Duolingo or something like that. Let's keep going. Next one, we probably get the white colors. 707. My goal is to get to 800 today. Let's go with e4, pawn to e4. They responded with pawn to e5. Now we're gonna get the knight out to attack the central pawn. They defend it with the pawn on d6. So that is a Philidor defense. Now let's get the bishop out. Okay, we continue our doing our thing, which is developing our pieces. All right, they develop also the knight attack our pawn, the central pawn. We can develop our knight to defend that pawn. Okay, knight to c6. Now we could castle. Very good move. Okay, they are trying to pin us. Now let's kick that bishop away. See if they want to trade. If they trade, we're happy with the trade. We're going to take back with the queen. Best move, I think, would be moving the bishop to h5. They could simply retreat it. But now they decide to retreat it to e6, offer us a trade. All right, if they want to trade, we can trade. And next we want to, so we have met our first two parts of the plan, which is fight for the center, develop your pieces towards the center, right? Next thing we want to do now is develop our queen side, right? And we have actually also secured the king. Now we want to finish the development of our queen side. We've already finished the development of our king side, right? So let's go d4. You have two attackers to that d4. All right. Very quickly, they challenge us in the center with the pawn on d5. Now we can take here and we can take on d5. Which one do we think should be taken first? Well, the reason I'm saying castle, castle, castle is so we have secured our king. They have not secured their king yet. So opening up this e file is definitely in our favor. So I'm going to take the d5 pawn first. All right, they take our d4 pawn. Now we could go down by these traits. We could also simply take this pawn back. What are we thinking? Do we go down the route? Or do we take back? If you take there, knight takes back, queen takes. Knight takes d5. Maybe then we bring the rook in. All right, let's take this knight. Okay, they take our knight. Now let's take their pawn. All right, they move the rook. We're threatening to take the rook there and promote to a new queen. So they had to move. Okay, we're offered the queen trade. Do we want to trade? Why not? Why not? Let's take it. They take back with the rook. All right, now we have this nice pawn here that he's very close to promoting. Okay, let's take this pawn on c3. Captures first. Always look for the captures first, active moves first. Okay, that's the other rule after the openings. Okay, always look for active moves. Checks, captures, threats. Okay, here it was a capture. Active moves are checks, captures, threats. All right, now they want to take our pawn. Now, how can we support our pawn to promotion? Okay, we can bring our bishop, we can bring our knight. What do you think? Which one would be better? I think bishop here is quite good. Knight here is also quite good. Okay, we could also bring the rook to try to promote immediately. We'll also bring the rook to attack the knight. All right, I think for the purposes of the good habits that we are trying to learn here, let's get the bishop out. Let's include all the pieces into the game. Okay, that cannot be a bad idea. Let all the pieces enjoy the party. Do not only play with one piece, right? And connect the rooks also. Okay, they defend that pawn on c7 with the bishop, so we could trade right now, or we could attack their knight. Okay, trading now would allow this knight to attack our pawn, so I think I like attacking this knight instead with like rook to e1, so that knight does not go back to defend, to attack our b7 pawn. Okay, they take on c3. All right, knight takes to c3. Now what? Let's take it on d6, trade it. Now rook cannot take back because then nothing is protecting the promotion square. He moved he took with the pawn. Now this pawn is free. Take free pieces. Always take free pieces. Okay, now they're attacking the rook. So we either have to move it back, or we gotta bring the other rook, doubling up, connecting the rooks. Always a good idea also. Connecting the rooks is very rarely a wrong idea. Okay, we always want to have them connected. Okay, they almost gain in power if we are able to connect the rooks. They have the double power. Now they offered us a trade, but I think they forgot that we are up the material, and even more importantly, not only that we are up material, but after these trades, nothing is going to be defending our pawn from promotion. Okay, we could take here, but I'll simply move the king away because when they take our rook now, we are secured to b8 square is secured to promote. Because if we took the rook at knight, they could move the king closer to the pawn. There we go. Promote to a new queen. Then we take the pawn. Now, normally I would recommend always try to go for the checkmate as fast as possible. Okay, so the most efficient way to checkmate here would probably be not just going for all these pawns, but immediately promote to another queen and then checkmate the king with the two queens. Okay, we would probably be able to checkmate it with the one queen too, but with two queens it's going to be way easier, right? So make it practically easy for yourself. Okay, here we go. Now check. I guess this, queen c6 immediately was the mate, but there are going to be a lot of mates here. I think any check pretty much is going to be a checkmate. Queen to b4. Goga Bitadze? Oh yeah, I'm a big NBA fan, man. I watch a lot of NBA. And yeah, I know Goga played in Serbia. Serbia is very good at basketball, man. You guys have a lot of good players. And yeah, I watch usually like world championships too. And Serbia is tough. No wonder you support Denver. Okay, let's do the game review. Always After the game, go to game review and see what you could have done better or what opponent could have done better. Okay, you can learn from the opponent's mistakes too, right? As they say, smart people learn from the other people's mistakes, right? So we started with e4, e5, knight f3, d6 filigree defense. We got the bishop out, and we get the knight out. And here we missed an opportunity to eventually win a pawn. So since they have not developed the bishop here, we could have got knight g5 and win the f7 pawn. Obviously, this is a great move that I would recommend, but again, my priority for this rating climb series is that we play simple, practical chess that we can all implement under the rating of 1000. Okay, so first, finish the development, secure the king. After you brought your pieces towards the center, then try to think of the rest and the active operations, basically, okay? Like knight g5 and so on. Yeah, I watched the game in Paris. I was watching the game, man. Steph Curry, if Steph Curry was not an alien, you probably would have won that game. Short castle, bishop g4. That was a good move. And then bishop back to d6. I think instead of going bishop e6 here, it would be better to leave this pin on the diagonal with bishop h5. Okay, and then I'm not sure actually what I would do. I would probably recommend going back here to get rid of this pin. Okay, because if we were to play pawn to d3 here, they would go knight d4, and now this pin could actually become very uncomfortable for us. Okay, because it could ruin our pawn structure. Let's say if we go bishop e3 here, then they could take the knight here. We take back, and now our king has been exposed, right? So I do not recommend against that. We want to keep our king secure, okay? So we don't want to expose our king like that. So we would probably better move the bishop back like that. Bishop e6, we trade the bishops here. Then we challenge the center here, since we have two attackers on the d4. Now there is an aggression and there is taking the initiative. I am very much for taking the initiative, especially if you're playing with white. Okay, if you think that your position is ready to take active measures, we should definitely do so. Okay, and the opposite, if we think that our position is not ready and we have to first finish the development, then that's what we want to do first. Okay, so taking the initiative in the center here, d4, makes a lot of sense. Now from the black side here, d5 was a mistake. Why was that move a mistake? Well, because we have finished the development, but they haven't. Their king is still in the center. So opening up the center is going to be in our favor, in white's favor, not in black's favor. Right? We take the pawn on d5 after they have challenged us in the center, and now this file is for grabs, right? And king is right there. He takes d4, and now we take the knight, and we take the pawn, and that wins us the pawn, because if they keep capturing here, we gotta take this rook with the promotion, and then if you also promote, then now we'll take your queen, right? So that's gonna win us a big material, even though you promoted to a new queen, you lost your old one. All right, and that gave us actually 2 pawns, because now we won 1 pawn there, and then the other pawn on c3. Right, now these pawns are doubled, so they are clearly not as powerful as that pawn on b7, but hey, extra pawn is still an extra pawn. Rook e1 is good. You respond to the threat with one of your own. So a few ways of defending, right? One way of defending is you simply move the piece away. Number 2, you capture the piece that is attacking you. Number 3, blocking. But we are way ahead here, so why would we block, right? And another way of defending is creating a stronger or equal amount of threat. So in this case, that's what we did. We played rook f to e1 to create a stronger or equal amount of threat towards this knight. And I actually think that this knight is a more important piece right now, because once we get that knight out, then our pawn on b7 is going to be untouchable. Okay, if they were to attack it with the rook, we will also simply defend it with the rook. They took our pawn. Now trades happen, and we win another pawn here on e6. Then we connect the rooks, and obviously rook h to e8 was the decisive mistake, because after these trades it's gonna allow us to promote to a new queen. And what he had to do most likely is try to go close to the pawn with king b7, but then we will go probably rook e7 check, and we still have an eye on this pawn b7, then rook d7 most likely. Now we could take or like move the knight closer, okay, but he probably has to try to somehow get rid of this pawn if they want to stay in the game, right? When something is that close to the promotion, you gotta keep an eye on it, or that's gonna get you in trouble. So they did not do that here, and they forgot about that pass pawn, and that basically decided the game right then. We promote to a queen, then we promote to the other one, and then with 2 queens, checkmate should be pretty easy, right? We keep checking the king until it's a mate. And when you have this much material up, I would recommend not capturing all the opponent's pieces, okay? What you will see happening a lot at the beginner levels is players will go try and capture all the pawns and all the opponent's pieces, and then they have like 3 queens, and they end up stalemating the opponent, okay? If you leave them with few pieces, it's less likely to end up in the stalemate, right? So actually leaving them with few pieces is in your favor. All right, I watched EuroLeague 2. Tornika Shengelia played today against my favorite team. He's from Georgia too. Yeah, Shengelia is our captain and captain of our team. Shengelia played in NBA too for a little bit, and then he decided NBA was not for him, so he went back to Europe. What's your favorite team? What is your favorite team? Let me refill my water here, and I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Oh, red star. Suena звезда? All right. Anyone here? Yeah. I just took a minute break to fill up my water and use a little bio break. So, dungeon. Evan. Evan, welcome. Good to see you. We have a couple of wrestlers from Georgia in your Olympic team. Oh, Zurab Datunashvili. Man, that sounds familiar. That sounds very familiar. Yeah, we have good wrestling school. A lot of good wrestlers from Georgia. All right, we are at rating 733 at the moment. My goal was to get to 800, okay, today. So maybe a few more games, maybe 2 more games, hopefully, should be enough. 733. Pawn to e4. Let's start with the best by test. e5, we're gonna get our knight out, and as my recommendation goes, bishop goes to b5. Rui Lopez, also known as Spanish opening. Okay, they attack our bishop. If they attack our bishop here, which is the main reply actually, we simply retreat the bishop back to a4. Okay, if they attack it again, then we're gonna retreat it to b3. Guys, I would much appreciate if you are enjoying the stream and liked. How do you like here? If you click the like, that helps the stream. Okay, so if you're watching it, that would be much appreciated. So we could help the algorithm. All right, they are attacking our pawn on e4. Now, castle is also a possibility here. And when they take, we play rook e1. But my recommendation for this rating climb series is simply protecting this pawn on e4 with pawn on d3. And then we go short castle. Schberg. Oh, N11. Yes, I do remember you, my friend. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you, man. What's going on? You fell off from the Twitch streets. I'm glad you found me on YouTube. Okay, knight to g4. They think they may be attacking our f2 pawn, but I don't think that is the case, because we have two defenders. Specifically, this rook right here is defending it. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is ask that knight a question. What are you doing, bro? Well, that's what they are doing. Knight takes f2. But now we can take that knight. When the bishop takes, then we take with the king, and we got two minor pieces for our rook and the pawn. Well, let's do the count. Rook and the pawn is 6 points of material, right? Bishop and knight, 3 each, so that's also 3 points of material, right? So technically, this was an even trade, but in the middle game, where there are no open files, rook will have a very little use. Okay, rooks have a use when the position is open, but position is not open right now, right? There are no open files, so two minor pieces are going to be much more valuable than rook and the pawn. So for that reason, this trade is usually not a good idea. All right, now let's develop our bishop while attacking that queen, and try to put our two minor pieces in use. Okay, pawn to d5. Look at this bishop, guys. That's the power of a bishop pair. Okay, power of this bishop. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is set up a little bit of a trap. All right, let's try to take that pawn, and when queen takes it, look at this diagonal. Do we see what is wrong with that diagonal already? This is the reason why a lot of people recommend do not touch the Freddy. Freddy means the f6 pawn. Okay, f6 pawn is a Freddy, because when you touch the Freddy, your king gets exposed from a lot of diagonals. Okay, and that is the case right now. That king has been exposed. We can go bishop b3, pin the queen, and win the queen. That's a pretty heavy material right there. A lot of people actually immediately resign when they lose a queen. Okay, so again, always ask yourself, what is opponent's idea with the last move? Okay, they simply defend the queen now, so we can take it. Oh man, so Luca, you also seen me playing Tile Tuesday? Oh man, why? So you've been lurking? You never never said hi? Or you mean you saw that on YouTube here? Oh, I see, I see. You saw it on YouTube, because I think I have one of my games against Jeffrey Zhong. You're right. Well, thank you, my friend. Okay, now let's get the knight out while we attack the bishop in the center. If you can develop your pieces while attacking opponents, that's a no-brainer. Always a great idea. Okay, developing your piece while attacking the opponent's piece is called a tempo. So winning a tempo cannot be a bad idea. They take our knight. Let's get the queen in the game. Now knight b4, I'm assuming they are attacking our pawn, but we can take some of their pawns as well. All right, let's get on the hunt here. Okay, they take our pawn. Now they are attacking our rook, so let's move the rook away and attack this knight back. All right, they took our second pawn. Now look at these two guys. Okay, we can do a few things here. Okay, we could attack this rook, and then we could also attack this rook from here. Now what that is going to do is it's gonna open our queen up, okay, to also attack this knight, and we already have one of our pieces attacking the knight, right? So if we are to bring the other one, then we will win the knight. Okay, so that's the one thing we can do. We also just move the king away, but let's try moving it here. Okay, active moves. Always think of active moves: checks, threats, captures. All right, they did check us with a discover check, but the rook was under attack. Okay, I mentioned earlier also, one of the best ways of defending is capturing a piece that is attacking you in the first place. Okay, now we can start checking. We were attacking our bishop, so we check and defend that bishop. Now we could try to use the back rank weaknesses here. Okay, a really good move here would be queen to c8, attacking the rook. Okay, let's do that. Let's go queen c8. Now when king is blocked with their own pawns like that, we have the back rank issues showing up. We are also attacking the rook there and attacking the knight, so they couldn't have taken our queen because it would be a checkmate, back rank mate. So king moves, and now queen takes the knight, taking on f5. Let's go check. Let's bring now all our pieces into the party with rook c7. Timbo! My man. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Good to see you. All good? All good with you? How is life? Now what? We could get started on collecting some material. So let's probably do that. He has only one rook. So capturing it on the same diagonal file as the rook is not that dangerous. Now, what are all the checks? Let's consider all the checks. 1 check, 2 check, 3 check, 4 check, right? Check that cannot be captured by the opponent's pieces, right? If you consider all of them, it's pretty easy to see that one of them is gonna lead to checkmate, and that one is queen to h4. That's 759. Yeah. No, good to see you. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. What you been up to? You been active with chess or live? You've been working more? Yes, I'm doing the speed run, so it's probably um, not gonna be as instructive, but I'll still try to appeal to all ranges, all rating ranges. Luca, that's right. That's right. I just need a rating. Okay, I already have the titles, so that's the goal. That's the goal, man. It's the lifelong goal. Okay, uh, to get to cross 2,500. I haven't been too active this the last couple of months, but hopefully around summer I'll get back into action. I look forward to it. Actually, I miss playing and being involved over the board. All right, let's do the game review like we normally do. Okay, after the game, always do the game review. Then, so we started as the Rui Lopez again. Knight f6, they attack the pawn with d3 to secure that pawn in the center. Then we go castle, and immediately we have inaccuracy here, knight on g4. As I mentioned earlier, we have already castled and secured this f2 pawn, so the trade is in white's favor. Two minor pieces are better than the rook for most part, especially in the opening and in the middle game. Okay, because rooks are not gonna be much of a use, and this was the critical mistake. First, we initiated the opponent to open up this diagonal, and then they fell for the pin. Okay, queen d5 drops the queen. All right, and the rest was pretty much we just trade down and capture everything that comes on your way. Okay, the strategy for converting the material advantage is usually we want to simplify and trade down to as few ever pieces as possible, because the few ever pieces on the board, more obvious it is going to be the power of those extra pieces and extra material that we have. All right, so it's gonna make your job much easier. All right, let's do maybe one more. For what is that going to be enough to get to 800? Let's see. Thanks, Luca. Thanks. But gotta be more consistent. I guess that's the consistency is just as important. Sperg, Nix, man. 4 years ago, huh? Where have you been? No more Twitch. All right. Next game we are with black. Okay, they start with e4. We're gonna balance the center with the e5, king's pawn. And now they go d4, called the center game. All right, if they challenge us in the center like that immediately, I guess we gotta take it back. And they immediately bring the queen out. Okay, this is not a good idea. People play it, but bringing the queen out as early as move 2 invites opponent's pieces to attack it, and then queen will have to move away. So they're gonna lose tempo. So another rule that we can talk about here is do not bring the queen out too early. They're gonna get attacked by the opponent's pieces. And rule number 2, if you are able to develop your pieces with the tempo, meaning by attacking the opponent's pieces, always a good idea to do so. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Knight goes to c6, attack that queen, and oh boy, okay, I barely finished the sentence when they moved queen to a disastrous square. Okay, now watch out king and the queen here. This is exactly why you do not bring the queen out this early in the game. All right, now we can go bishop to b4 and the queen is gone. The knight is defending it, and bishop is pinning the queen. Okay, so keep your queen inside your pawn chain before you finish developing your minor pieces. Okay, that's gotta be the takeaway out of this. All right, we're up a lot of material. Now we have queen for 1 minor pieces, for 1 bishop. But we still need to finish the development here, secure our king, and then develop our queen side. Rest in peace, Her Majesty. Short castle, all right. Now what? Let's get the pawn to d6 so we can let the bishop out. Now I'm curious to see if they're gonna see e5. e5 is actually winning a piece for white here, because the knight is going to be pinned and this pawn is also pinned. Oh wow, they did see it. That's kind of cool actually. That's a double pin. Okay, I can take there, and they are attacking my knight. Okay, now let's talk about this technique that allow us to get out of the pin. Okay, it's not an immediate way to get out of the pin, but this is where we want to think again about the ways of defending. All right, so what were some of the ways of defending? One was just move it away, but we cannot move away the knight, right? Because we're gonna lose the queen. Number 2, capture the piece that is attacking you, but we cannot capture the pawn because we're gonna lose the queen. Number 3, counter-attack the piece. So create a stronger or equal amount of threat. And that's what we're gonna do right now, attack the bishop. So if they take our knight, we take their bishop, and it's an even trade. If they move the bishop back, which is a good idea, they maintain this, then we can go g5 to attack that bishop again. Normally, this would be dangerous because it opens up our king, but they do not have a queen. So we are not worried about opening up our king. Okay, if we're early in the game where they had the queen, well, we are actually still early in the game, but they already have given up their queen. So since they don't have the queen, now we are win. We are not scared of opening up our king. Timbo, good to hear, man. Good to hear. You got the third place under 1500. So what's your live rating now? Yeah, 30-minute games are becoming very popular all across the US. So you should play more. You should play more. What's your live rating now after that third place? And who did you lose to? What was the opponent's rating on the game that you lost? All right, bishop moves away. Now they keep attacking this knight. Now, since we got rid of that pin on the diagonal, now we can move the knight away. And attack the bishop. Actually, we want to trade. Simple, right? Simple. Simple chess. When you are up material, trade pieces down. Okay, let's take this pawn first, actually, because that bishop is not going anywhere. And I do not want to open the rook up immediately right now. Oh wow, that's a good move. They're attacking two of our knights. Let's take one of... trade one of them. And on the next move, we can move the knight away, all right, back to attack what is attacking us, right? Or we can create a very sneaky threat ourselves. Let's bring the queen out. Okay, we are threatening right now. Ooh. Always ask yourself, what does opponent want? Always ask yourself, what does opponent want with the last move? Why did they make the last move? That is going to reduce the amount of blunders in your game a lot. All right? So if you want to reduce the amount of blunders in your game, you want to do two things. One, ask yourself, what is their threat? What do they want with the last move? And number two, when I make a move, what are they going to do? If you ask yourself those two questions, you're less likely to blunder. Okay. So now we can go down to e1 to checkmate. Let's take a look at the game review. All right, e4, e5, d4, pawn takes, queen takes d4, knight to c6, queen goes to c3. Blunder on move 4. Again, this is why you do not bring the queen out early in the opening. Okay, we pin it to win it, and the rest was basically then. I think this is another very nice technique to get rid of the pin. Okay, h6. Here, when you are in pin with the pawn and the bishop here, you attack the bishop. So you create the equal amount of threat. Okay, and the final trick here, which they fell for immediately, was queen e7. Okay, to checkmate their king. I'm now 1202. I lost to a 1400, I believe. All right. Okay, yeah, that was 200 points higher than you. Not bad, not bad. Okay, we gained 25 points and we are rated 784. Okay, maybe we do one more game and then we will be done with this series for today. Okay, let's do one more, and we are playing 796. Okay, d4, pawn to d5, bishop to f4. They're going for the London. Okay, against the London, what should we recommend against the London? Should we just go bishop to f5? They bring the bishop out, we bring the bishop out? Yes. Or should we just do the simple chess, like knight f6? I think we should do bishop to f5. They bring the bishop out, we bring the bishop out. Okay, e3, we go e6. c3, we go c6, because they want to bring the queen out to attack this pawn. Okay, so let's do the copycat thing. Wow, this knight has made 2 moves. He could have developed the knight in 1 move on f3, so not sure why make 2 moves. All right, let's get the bishop out, try to trade these bishops. Okay, they take it back. Now, do we allow them to take our bishop and double us the pawns? All right, let's allow it. g3. Okay, and now let's go check. Bring the rook in the game. They block it with the knight. Now we could get our other knight out. I think that's simple enough. Another simple move here would be, now this knight is very comfortably located on e5, right? So I would want to kick that knight away with pawn to f6. So what I'm going to do is move my knight away, trying to set up the threat of f6 on the next move. And they allow it. So if they play knight e2 here, then this file would be closed. Now they allowed the double attack and discovered attack. Okay, double attack meaning that, well, technically it's a discovered attack. Actually, this is not a double attack, this is a discovered attack. Queen down. So now discovered attack is a tactic where we need a discoverer and a target, right? Discoverer in this case would be the rook. The target here, what would be the target? Well, actually, let's make queen could be one of the targets, or rook could be another target. So we could take the g3 and then h1, or we could take the c3 and then d1. and they immediately resign. Because that's what a lot of players do, and they do not want to play without the queen. I actually do not recommend resigning. Usually, like if you're under 1000, do not resign. Okay, people don't know how to checkmate. Okay, and they will still make a lot of mistakes. So if you're under 1000, do not checkmate. Do not resign. Excuse me. You can see I'm getting a little tired here. All right. That was 8:07. So we have reached our goal for today. And we can pause for now and do something else. Do I have a schedule? I would love to monitor streams. I love rating climbs. Oh man, good to hear. Good to hear, Timbo. I would love to have you more, man. So I try to do Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Okay, and on Sunday sometimes I'll stream the tournaments. I'll do the tournaments. Okay, so on pretty much all the days around this time. Okay, like afternoon, I'm thinking from 4 to basically 4 and yeah, like around 4 p.m. Maybe a little early, actually, a little early, like 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Central Time. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Timbo, you like? Let me ask you actually, if you like rating climbs or like speedruns, are you more into live streams or you are more into watching it as videos? Because I did 3 videos as just like a long form. I'm now giving the live stream a try. Okay, this was my first live stream of this this rating climb. So what do you think? What do you guys think in general, actually? More of a long form or more of live streams? Thanks, Andrew. Thanks. Live stream? All right. Actually, I agree. It feels more interactive, and that's kind of goal, right, of the climb in general. That is why I'm doing this, to get your opinion, guys, and what is helpful and what not. I see. You're more of a well, the good thing is on YouTube it stays, right? So technically you can watch it after too. So it's a little different than Twitch. So probably I'll do uh, more of the streams. Good to hear the opinions. Neo-modernist, yes, man. I was gonna play some Bullet next before wrapping up and going for the dinner. So yes, I'm gonna do that. There is a Daniel Naroditsky method of uploading his edited stream while doing it. Get the interaction and the video. Yeah. So he's doing it on Twitch, and then he is editing them and putting them on the on YouTube. Oh, neo-modernist. That's my man. Let me subscribe to you. გაიხარე. ყოველთვის მიხარია ხოლმე. ქართველების ნახვა სტრიმზე. All right, cool. That was fun. I thought that was fun. Now I'm gonna try to. So for now, actually, what I may try to do is I'll see once I'm done and think about it. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna edit this because I'm streaming in the short format, right? So I don't think I will be able to edit this into the video. But I think I'll keep it as it is. See if I can get somehow this uploaded in the long form video. But I'll probably take the snippets and try to upload it as shorts. Okay, they're like useful snippets. All right, Andrew, good night. Good night. Thanks again for the first super chat. You were my first super chat, okay, on YouTube. I just monetized the channel. So basically your super chat was the first income I got from YouTube. Okay, so I'm gonna remember that forever. I will play next Tile Tuesday for sure. Yes, Tile Tuesdays. I try to play Tile Tuesdays usually. Okay, let's play some bullet. Let me, and maybe even the blitz. But I'm gonna. Yeah. Man, so the thing is, my like streams seems to be lagging a little bit. So that's a little weird, but we'll see. We'll see if we are able to make it work. Okay. I did play some bullet yesterday, actually. Alright, let's get to it. We're rated at 2776. But I'm gonna play bullet from my main account. That's more fun. Alright, Kenan Gareo. This guy is good. I think we want something here. We're attacking this guy and this guy. No? Maybe not. Oh man, but we're so slow though. We are. Oh man. Wow. He just allowed the mate. We're gonna flag for sure. How is the lag for the bullet? Do you guys think it's lagging a little bit? Let's defend it, bro. Let's defend it. That was defended. Okay. $791, 2,791. Give Scandinavian a try. Yeah, we can play Scandinavian. Man, in Bullet you can play anything. Let me edit the... Alright guys, if I edit the name of the video, then the entire video is gonna be edited, so... Ah, I blundered. Ooh, I blundered there, but he didn't see. He could have played knight f6 and take the knight. Ah, bishop d5, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. I don't know why he didn't take the pawn though. Yeah. Oh, that was 28. Was I 28? Did I drop back? Straight queens. I'm promoting. Okay, now I'm for sure 2800. Okay, I'll probably try what, like 2850 or so. Let's see if we can get 2850. Damn. სახელი? შენ თამაშობ? საქართველოში არა ვარ, კაი ხანია და მაგიტო. Not bad, not bad. Huh? Okay, 28-10. I live in Dallas. I live in Dallas now, so that's probably why. Okay, I guess. Oh. Wow. Zephyrion Prime? Who is Zephyrion Prime? From Tbilisi. It's not death that a man should fear, but he should. Who is Zephyrion Prime? Level 100. Level 195. What is he thinking though? Oh, he didn't play it. Damn. Whew. This guy is 2900. Damn. Oh, you're in Italy. Okay. Sasiamono, Gio, Sasiamono. Lukas Liaoslevich. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay, very few players, you know. So there are not many games here that's happening. So I was checking who is this. He only plays bullet. I know. No, blitz actually. That's very interesting. I think I'm in trouble here. I was in trouble, but all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Bro, I know, right? I know, right? Like suddenly I caught fire in bullet. Like I cannot do that. Bruh. I wonder who this is. Oh, this guy's hanging. That's GG's. What? Bro is crushing out. Bro is crushing out. Wow. Okay, now I'm. Oh, excuse me. That's a mate. That's a mate. I don't know, man. I don't know what's my pick. Okay, my man is I think my man is desperate. Okay, we got to 28. Let's check out what the peak was. What my peak is. I think 2900 in bullet. Like 29. I think. Oh wow, it shows on my YouTube here. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. 2958. 2958. Yeah, is the peak. So we're still far away from the peak. Like another 100 points, but man, I'm gonna be crashing out soon. Okay, that was a solid. What? How long have I been streaming? Like, oh, only 2 hours. Man, okay, let's play little blitz, 3 minutes. Yeah, man. Bullet is a monkey business. You know, you can get hot and gain like a lot of points in bullet. Are we better? I don't think we're better here. All those cool tactics and nothing. All those cool tactics for nothing. Okay, blitz actually we can talk. Bullet is, yeah, it's impossible to talk. But blitz actually we can talk. So bishop versus knight. Technically queen is a little better with the knight usually. So I actually would like black here, to be fair. But alright, we don't get to choose now, we got white. Knight to g4. Okay, clearly we have to move my mans. Yeah, he goes back. Did he miss this trick? I think we got the double attack now. Well, he can also go here, I guess, huh? Man, look at the knight. The knight is a powerful piece. Oh, okay. All right. All right, we got a pawn. Oh, this is Ali Reza's brother. Oh, this is Ali Reza's brother that we're playing against. Ali Reza Firoz's brother. And I think he's his manager also. Yeah, but it's probably tricky. I don't think it's gonna be easy. Is he also streaming? Because he also streams, I think. Wow, what a defense. Damn, I missed that. Never mind. Never mind. I forgot I have a mate. Yeah, this line is not that good actually. H4. Alright, let's put the pressure on the rook here, maybe two. But this is as far as I know. I don't know what now. What do I do now? Okay, maybe let's try double up. Takes here, queen g4. looks very uncomfortable because he has like 3 pieces versus our king, which is oof. Yeah. Yeah, I think we got made it, huh? Takes bishop h6. Okay, let's see. We didn't get mated, but we did sacrifice in exchange. Damn. Ah. Ay, ay, ay. That was good. That was a good tactic that we blundered. Oh, time. Okay, maybe I'll do one more. I'm kinda tired, bro. I gotta go eat. Yeah, I don't think he wants to play. Yeah, that was a good win, but we played way too slow. I mean, we're technically winning here still. Like here, just queen takes e3, yeah, takes, bishop takes h6. This for sure got, yeah, no, knight has to move away, then take on f5 too. We have the whole army of the pawns. I forgot about rook takes e4. Yeah, I blundered that. I mean, even this one, honestly, here, I don't know why he did that. We can, this, bishop f8, but alright, here already. Here already not so fun. Alright, okay. I think I'm gonna take this to the finish now. I'm gonna go get some rest and have some food. Gio, good meeting you. Timbo, good seeing you, bro. Thanks for stopping by. Everyone, thanks for stopping by. This was fun, And yeah, that's the plan basically, that I'm probably gonna try to do more of streams for my speedrun series, and basically raiding climb series of healthy chess repertoires. All right, that's the goal. And yeah, thanks for the support, everyone. Andrew is already gone, but yeah, I'll be Fortnite stream when. No Fortnite, bro. Who's this? Who's this? I feel like this guy sounds familiar. Don't solo. Um, but yeah, boys and girls, appreciate support. Hope everyone has a good day. And I'm actually thinking of creating like a community, basically like a school community. If you guys know what that is, school. Um, like Han Solo, baby. I see, I see, I see. Um, so I can keep it together, but I'll edit and put some of this on shorts also. All right, peace, everyone. Hope you have good rest of your day. Cheers.